Warning, this video contains lots of electrics, so if you don't like that Pokemon, who cares? You'll be seeing them anyway at your next tournament, because they'll be all over the place. Be careful. Thank you, come again. Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here. This is part 2 of episode 36, which is about the ECC, which stands for the European Challenge Cup, by the way, for those of you who didn't know already. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I made it to the top 16 there, so I did pretty well, and I actually became 11th in the entire tournament, which is really good in my opinion, because this is my first year that I'm actually attending tournaments. Aside to that, let's just begin with this report. So, in the entire tournament, there were 228 players in the Master Division, 70 in the Senior Division, and then 34 in the Junior Division. This means that the Masters had a pretty rough time to even get to the top 32, which was held on the second day of the tournament, by the way. And alright, I'll just explain my journey to the top. First of all, I want to say that the entire tournament was mainly based around ill variants, meaning Zekrom Electric was the most popular deck that I came across in the tournament. Also, Magnezone Electric was pretty good because I played it myself, and then we had Durant Contenders and Celebi Mewtwo EX decks were pretty popular as well, even though that most people didn't have multiple copies of Mewtwo EX. They just managed to make the deck by running Tornadus and other attackers like Regigigas. And yeah, the influence of Mewtwo EX was really noticeable because almost every deck that I came across just stacked in one in their deck just to counter other Mewtwo EXs that I mentioned in the previous episode. So Mewtwo EX was definitely around, and yeah, let's just start off with the first match I had. It was against someone from Germany. He had a Mewtwo EX Gardevoir deck, and yeah, it should have been an easy win for me, but unfortunately my draw support was so bad in that game that I got a Magnezone out only on turn 5, so I was pretty slow, and Mewtwo EX was prized as well, so it was really difficult to win, but I did manage to win because yeah, Catcher knocking out Gardevoir, and then the threat was over. And when I did finally draw my Mewtwo EX out of my prizes, it was just came for me because the double cards and bang, other psychic Pokemon just got KO'd by my Mewtwo. And yeah, the second match I was up against someone from Italy, Pubide Pabide. Yeah, I got dunked by a Mewtwo EX Celebi deck. So he had a Mewtwo on this bench, I believe, and yeah, I just used double Carl's energy, and then the Poke Power of Celebi getting another energy attached to his what was it again, Mewtwo, yeah, and then used Skyro Bridge to switch it around, and then using X-Ball on my Magnemite for the knockout. So yeah, poor Magnemite, he got knocked out pretty fast, didn't he? And so I got one win and one loss so far. Anyway, the next round I was up against someone from the United Kingdom, UK. So there I had a Tinamo start. I had Tinamo with 40 HP that could use a Thunder Wave, so I had to do it with that, and I didn't have any good supporters, no collector start and stuff, so I had to do it with that. And yeah, I had the double Carl's energy on my hand and some stuff that I couldn't even use, Super Rod, Junk Arm, so I had a terrible hand because most of the cards I couldn't use straight away. It was good for late game, but now my hand was terrible. But yeah, I just used Tinamo's attack, was it Thunder Wave, dealing 10 damage, and then flipping a coin, and with a bit of luck, the Mewtwo EX, that was the opponent's Pokemon, was paralyzed, so I was up against the Mewtwo EX once again. So it was the third time in a row every deck that I was up against had Mewtwo EX, but then it was his move, and he didn't have any draw support as well, so no supporters in his hand. And he did play Dual Ball, but he flipped Tails two times, and yeah, it didn't get out any basics anymore, so he was stuck with a Mewtwo EX with 160 HP. And then it was my move, so he couldn't attack due to the paralyzation. So it was my move, and I top deck a Collector, and that's the one for me because I had double Carlos energy on my hand, using Collector, getting out Mewtwo EX, then giving a double Carlos energy to Mewtwo, retreating Tinamo, and bang, X-Ball, and I win. So that was a Mewtwo revenge for me because I started with a bad hand, but it turned out pretty great thanks to that Collector, and I was at 2 wins and 1 loss. And next up I was up against someone from the UK again, but this time I was up against Durant, one of my worst matchups ever because I'm running Magnezone. So yeah, I started with a lone Zekrom, so it was pretty fortunate for me. I got an energy of Zekrom, and he just played some stuff, but yeah, at a certain point he played Skyro Bridge down that ensured a victory for me because yeah, I could bench all my Tinamos like crazy and just getting out that many energies after that because electrics were out pretty fast then, and yeah, I killed the entire family of ants. So I don't think Skyro Bridge is that useful in Durant, it just helped me. So 3 wins, 1 loss. Next up I was up against someone from France. He runs Zekrom Electric, which means he run the Zekrom EX, and yeah, with the added Zapdos, I believe. So he ran one Zapdos to snipe, and that really helped him. He could snipe my Mewtwo EX, so he had some damage counters due to Zekrom EX, but it wasn't enough to knock him out. But later he used the snipe attack of Zapdos to knock out Mewtwo EX, but that wasn't enough because Mewtwo EX just took so many prizes in that game that it was just a perfect win for me. I got many prizes thanks to Mewtwo, and I just built up Magnezone pretty slow and stuff. It was just enough to knock him out. So 4 wins and 1 loss. And next up I was up against someone from Germany again. It was a mirror match, meaning Magnezone Electric versus Magnezone Electric. So I started the game, I had a Magnemite as my active, and I used Collector. I think, yeah, it's a great start. I have a Magnemite on my active spot, and I can use Collector. So I checked my deck, and what the hell is this? All the Magnezones were priced. I was like, wow. No way. And yeah, I lost pretty fast because he had 2 Magnezones out and I had 0 because yeah, I couldn't get out any Magnezones. They were all priced. So 4 wins and 2 losses so far, and yeah, then I went to the restroom because the game was over so fast I couldn't even do anything because of all the Magnezones being priced. So went to the restroom, splashed my face a bit with water because yeah, it was so tough because I had to win the next 2 matches to even make it to top 32. And yeah, completely refreshed. I came out of the restroom and I was ready for my next round, and I was facing someone from France. That was a familiar face because I've beaten him once at Cities, and I was hoping to do the exact same thing here. So he was running a same deck, Durant, but he updated a little bit with the added cards from Next Destinies, meaning Prism Energy and Level Ball. So I was up against Durant once again. So I started with a lone Magnemite. So I was thinking like, no way, that's a terrible start for me because Durant just loves Magnemite because I don't get out Magnezone against Durant usually. But this time it was completely different. I started with Rare Candy and Magnezone in my hand, so I decided to do something special in this game instead of my usual strategy to beat Durant. So I had yeah, some draw supporters as well, so I get out Magnezone on turn 2 and yeah, just bench some Tynamos right away because I had a switch available. So I wasn't afraid of Catcher that much, only from was it again Crushing Hammer. So I wanted to get out Electrics as fast as possible and draw some cards, and even Stage Training to get all the resources I need, like Junk Arms and Switch, which was the main cards that I won against Durant. And yeah, I got 3 Junk Arms by drawing some cards, and even Switch, 1 Switch I believe. So it was pretty nice to use Magnetic Draw and even Stage Training against Durant. And yeah, unfortunately he lost against 2 Eels, 1 Magnezone and Zekrom. So I completely overpowered him. The annoying ants were knocked out one by one, but yeah, he did devour a lot of cards, and yeah, I just draw some cards as well. So I was in a position where I only had 1 card left on my deck, so it was my move. I pulled the card, so I had no cards left in my deck, but I could finish my move. So then I played N. You should have seen the look on its face. It was so epic. I just used N and put all the cards that I draw from Stage Training and stuff back to my deck, and yeah, was ready for 2 more turns so I could win this match. So it was a sweet win with Magnezone, and yeah, I was at 5 wins and 2 losses. Okay, now to the final round of the first day. I was up against another Zekrom Electric deck. So Zekrom Electric, as I said, is the most popular deck at the moment, or at least at the ECC. So I started with a lone Cleffa. I was thinking like, no way, he's gonna dog me or something, but yeah, since Zekrom Electric does run double cards energies and plus powers, I was afraid of being dunked. But yeah, I had the option to go first, and I used Collector, bang, and then double Carlos energy. It was also in my hand, so Collector, get out Mewtwo and just overpower those annoying Tynamos, Catcher Tynamo and stuff with Mewtwo EX. And I've at least said what was it again, 5 times X ball in that game, so it was pretty nice to win with Mewtwo EX. So I was at 6 wins and 2 losses. Then I was going to the scores to see if I made it to the top cut, and yeah, I was so relieved for the first day. I made it to the top 32 and I was ranked 16 on that day, so not too shabby at all. I was really happy because I did so well on my first international tournament. So I went straight to day 2, where I had many nice matches. I was up against Zekrom Electric on that day. The first match was really tough. I couldn't do anything. Mewtwo EX was priced, and yeah, I got overpowered because he was running Terrakion with fighting energy, so I had to rely on Magnezone. But as soon as I knock out something like a Zekrom or something, he just used Terrakion to retaliate, and yeah, Magnezone just lost and stuff. So I lost the first game, but yeah, there was the best 2 out of 3, so I can make a comeback, and I did with Thunderous as my main starter, using Charge and getting the energies into play, then Disaster Evolve to get some cheap prizes with Catcher, knocking out Tynamos before they could evolve to Electric. And yeah, he also got out Mewtwo EX, and I got my own Mewtwo EX this time. He wasn't priced, and yeah, it was just a Mewtwo EX battle, which was pretty nice as well. It was one of the best matches I've had in a while, because yeah, it was just so epic, so close. He had one prize remaining and I had one prize remaining. It was just so who's gonna win, and then lucky for me, time gets called, and yeah, I was able to knock him out to get the last prize card in time. But we had to play the third game as a sudden death, which means yeah, we had to play the game but only with one prize, and the one that gets the prize wins the entire game. So it was pretty exciting, and yeah, we shuffle and stuff, and I start with Mewtwo EX, the best start I could have, and he starts with Zekrom, the regular one with Outrage, no, so not the EX, and yeah. He uses Collector, so he could start since I won the second match, and yeah, he uses Collector, getting out Mewtwo EX and some other huge basics, but he doesn't bench anything, and he also doesn't give any energies because I started with Mewtwo EX, so he wanted me to attach energies to my Mewtwo EX and then using Switch or something to overpower me with his own Mewtwo EX, but I didn't go for that trap. I just benched the Magnemite, giving him one energy and just passing. Yeah, I thought like he does have Switch and double Kara's energy in his deck, there's no other way, so I benched a Magnemite and attached an energy to my Magnemite, just hoping that he doesn't have Catcher, because if he has Switch, double Carla's energy and Catcher, I would have lost, but having those in your hand, all three together, that's not possible, so I was relying on a bit of luck here, but lucky for me, he didn't catcher me or something, so I could build up Magnezone, and he still doesn't attach any energies because he was afraid that Mewtwo EX could do more damage or stuff, so yeah, he was just doubting on stuff. He was in a really tight situation. Then Rare Candy Magnezone, and yeah, on the third turn I was able to Magnezone using Lost Burn because I had Switch in my hand as well, so I was at 7 wins and 2 losses, which was a really nice game. Even with the sudden death, it was just so exciting and everyone was just watching. It was nice. I was at 7 wins and 2 losses so far, and yeah, I was going good, but then my luck completely run out. I was up against another Zekrom Electric deck, so as I said, the most popular deck at the ECC, and it was a way better version this time. It won 9 matches in a row without losing one, so it must have been really good. It run more Mewtwo EXs and a Shaman to move energies, so a good amount of plus powers as well. A really good deck. So the first game I got dunked by Mewtwo EX. What a surprise. I start with Tynamo 40 HP, and he starts with a free retreat Tynamo 30 HP, so it's his move. He draws a card, plays Collector, searches his deck for Mewtwo EX, attaches an energy, was a double Card's energy, he switched around and using X-Ball for the KO, so dunked right away. So yeah, I was pretty upset about that, but we went straight to game 2, and there I got a really slow setup, and at the end of the game I know why my setup was so slow, because all the good stuff was prized. There were 2 Magnezones prized, 1 Switch was prized, and what else was prized? A Tynamo, I believe, so all the good stuff was prized. I couldn't really do anything, and all my Tynamos were knocked out or captured by Mewtwo EX, or what was it again, Thunderous, so he was pretty good. I had a really good start, and I just couldn't get out Magnezone in time just to get the prizes, and yeah, there I lost 2 times in a row, so that deck was really good, and he had a record of 10 wins and 0 losses at that point, so yeah, no wonder he beat me. It was really good, that deck, I can't say it enough. So overall I think I did pretty well since I made it to the top 16. There's nothing to complain about. 11th place is still a nice record, and I did manage to get all the cards out of my wanted list, which was a great thing. So now I have an updated wanted list on my channel, which I'm looking for some ultra rares that I don't have yet. I'm collecting all the primes, as I already completed, legends and stuff. Level X's, I'm still missing a few of those, so if you have any of those, you can just contact me or something. And that pretty much wraps it up for this special episode. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, I always appreciate that. And if you have any questions, thoughts, epic new ideas, or want to share your experience of this tournament, go straight to the comment section and let me know what's on your mind. And for those of you that haven't subscribed yet,
well, screw you guys, I'm going home.
no, seriously, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do it right away, and then you'll stay tuned for the latest updates of the Pokemon trading card game. Anyway, this was ZapdosTCG. Thanks a lot for watching, have a nice day, and till next time.